Welcome. We're back with another show. We have mock drafts today. We're going to answer some questions, talk about the rookie draft, and then we're going to look at some other things. How are you guys doing? How's your week been?
Been good. Just super excited for a rookie mock. I love rookie. I've been really like watching. I've been starting to like watch a lot of film on rookies lately. Like trying to like analyze film, trying to learn how to do it. It's been really fun. So excited to talk about some rookies. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I think the people wanted me to talk about rookies. I know that there's been a lot of discussion about that, so we'll see. And then I noticed there were a lot of comments in the chat from Patrick Asdell.
And that's me.
Yeah.
So last night we filled for an inactive owner and brought someone into a league. And this person took over a team that was a Chiefs fans team who had every Chief imaginable except for Patrick Mahomes. So just the he had Sky Moore, he had
That's
Watson,
hilarious.
he had Kelsey, he had Jerick McKinnon, he had CEH, he had Juju, he had every Chiefs player imaginable. So he had to start a full rebuild because all those pieces don't create a great fantasy lineup. A good regular lineup, sure, a Super Bowl winning one, but not a good fantasy lineup. So it reinvigorated our league and led to 6 trades in a matter of a few hours. And so if we want to, we can go through some of these and just quickly say which side we prefer, or get into the show sheet, whatever works best.
Yeah, the show sheet is under construction.
Okay.
It was made, but there were some delays. But we can get into some of these. Some of these are not very important.
No.
Like this one, Foreman and 310 or Fournette. Who cares? I guess I would prefer I think I'd rather have Foreman over Fournette at this point. At least he has a team, right?
There's a market for him.
Yeah.
This one's gross. Oh, Ryan is here. That's good because he's in charge of the mock drafts.
My lighting is so annoying right now. I'm sorry.
Ryan, how are you doing?
Yeah, technology.
Yeah. How about new technology would be good.
We're still working on that.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, what about this one? Goddard or Dulcich and 210?
That's easy, Dallas Goddard.
Yeah, I agree.
That was easy. I was mad that I didn't make an offer sooner for Goddard when I saw this trade go through.
Are you just flexing in the chat now, Patrick? Is that what you're doing?
No,
I'm kidding.
No. We literally had a new person join a league, and the influx of trades that happen when someone new joins. So we had.
Did you join both of the mocks? All right. What about this one?
Wait, shoot, there's multiple mocks? Oh, crap.
Yeah, there's a 1 QB1 and a Superflex.
Shoot, got you.
So trade number 3, Joe Burrow or 112, 205, 206, 24 first and second, and 25 first and second.
I think I saw this on your Twitter, Tyler. There was a trade like this you answered on your Twitter, actually.
I did?
I think you did, yeah. There was a trade like this that I saw. I think it was on your Twitter.
I wasn't really paying attention. That's one thing people should know.
I think I don't remember what side you took, but I remember seeing this trade on your Twitter, and it's an interesting deal. That's a lot of picks.
It's a lot, and it's a 4-point per touchdown league.
Ooh.
So,
yeah.
What did past Tyler say? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I would have to find out. I don't remember.
I mean, you very well could end up having made this trade and get no quarterbacks back, and have no quarterbacks after this trade.
Well, I wouldn't like that,
because the person that did the 24 center picks is also now looking like a top 3 team in the league with a very strong roster. So you're looking at picks 9 through 12 the next 2 years. Do you think you can replace Joe Burrow with that?
No, I would take Joe Burrow. I mean, we know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I landed on it. But it was a very fair trade. I think you can make an argument what's going to happen in 2 years, we don't know.
Yeah, I would say, people are very, nobody, I hear it on shows all the time. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I'm a little over it, a little over it with some of the podcasts I listen to in the community these days. It's always the same thing. Well, it could be. Well, it could work out. Oh, both sides could be good. Like, it's what people like. I don't do that. But yeah, I would take the Joe Burrow side pretty easily.
I would as well. Yeah.
What, you don't want to piss off your fan base and tell them that you think that the side that they took is total crap?
Oh, I do that all the time. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. Like, I'll tell people on Twitter to go fuck themselves whenever I want. I don't care.
I'm more referring to other podcasts that do that, that do the wishy-washy.
Oh, yeah, it sucks. It's almost like if they think they take a stand, they won't be likable, but they don't realize that that's exactly why they don't have the fan base that they should. People want like an answer. They don't want a maybe. Like, no one wants to hear a wishy-washy answer. And to tell you, no one's paying for my Patreon to have me tell them in response to their trades, well, you could take this side or you could take that side. No one wants to hear that. So we won't do it. We won't do it. All right, trade number 4. Kelsey or 24 first, and 302 and 309. What's the format exactly? Is this 10 and premium?
No premium.
No premium. What about Superflex? Is Superflex?
Superflex.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if it's a Superflex, not premium, I think I'll just take the 24 first. I think that's fine.
That's where I was as well.
Yeah, I'll take a 24 first. I mean, I love Kelsey as much as the next guy. I was talking about it. What was it? Last week or 2 weeks ago? Like how he could keep giving you, 2 more good years, but that 2024 first can be Caleb Williams, and I can't pass up on that. So give me the picks.
Yeah. And also, people join the mock links. They're right here. Make sure to join those.
Yeah, we got a couple mocks. Let's go.
It'll be fun.
Which draft are we doing first?
Whichever one fills first.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be the Superflex because people want to do Superflex.
Cool.
Trade 5. Heineke, Godwin, Akers, 211, 306, or Lockett, Dalvin Cook, and Mike Williams. Well, that's all gross.
Yeah.
I'll go with Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin. I mean, I'm a big Akers fan as well, so I'll take Godwin and Akers.
But depreciating assets on the other side of that deal.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
That manager, I believe, was trying to hold out. Tyler, it was the same manager that offered me a bunch to try and get Bijan from me last night as well. That was just like, all right, now I kind of want to get my 24 first back, but I can't decide which direction my team's going to go. And then 5 minutes later, this trade happens, and he's
I always love
getting
when that
Lockett.
happens.
So I'm hoping these depreciating values go away because I have his 24 first and 24 second. Like, let me have Caleb Williams. Let me get May. Well, my team is ready to actually play now.
I like winning. So
I do too.
winning
Winning's
deals
good.
is good.
Winning's good.
Can't confirm winning's fun.
Winning gives you a sense of power. Like,
I have that just by existing, Patrick. I don't need to win. Oh man.
I don't even know how to.
There's no way to respond to that.
I'm like, good for you, bro.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. Like let me just say this. If you like this show, tell me you like it. I'll just say that.
Well, assuming it's Superflex, right?
It's Superflex, not premium.
We all taking the pick, right?
I think so. Yeah,
One trade I made of that.
I would take the pick. I do like Amari Cooper's potential with Deshaun Watson, but I will definitely take that pick.
I'm a little tossed over here. I don't think you're going to get a nice elite asset at 110. And Amari Cooper.
The 110's tough in this draft because this class is It's not. This class is deep, but it's like after like the 106, it's a bit flat. It's a lot of question marks with the players after 106.
I still think you'll get something pretty good at 110.
Yeah, you can get a very valuable asset at 110, especially with these running backs. Like if one of these running backs get picked, like a few of these running backs get picked like day 2, you get one of those guys. Like you're set up there with one of those.
I'm leaning. I see the tier break after 6.
Yeah,
my initial before the hard line fell at 6. I used to think there was a hard line at 9, and I feel like and that was adding the 2 extra wide receivers and Levis, and that was your 9. And I feel like just adding one more running back to that creates a hard line at 10 for me. And I think that we could see someone, depending on draft capital and draft night.
Yeah, I think there's going to be at least 1 or 2 running backs to get like the day 2 capital that are going to be really exciting.
I don't want to be sitting at 11. I don't want to be sitting at 11. I would much rather be. For me, I feel like there's a stronger tier break between 10 and 11, especially once deep capital that'll form, and it's going to be cheaper now to buy into that tier break than it is going to be in 2 weeks.
Well, that's why I would do it now.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Why wait? Nothing's guaranteed.
This one I've actually seen a lot. I've seen this one asked a lot, actually. Devonta Smith or Drake London?
Drake London.
It's very interesting. I think because you want to say Drake London is the clear number 1 wide receiver, but you do have Kyle Pitts there in Atlanta, who is a dominant asset. Just like receivingly, so he's at least he was one of the best tight end prospects of all time. We would hope he's a great asset for this team moving forward. We hope that he's a super high target share kind of player. That would kill Drake. That would really hurt Drake London, especially with their quarterback play right now. That's a really tough one. I'm gonna look at the Dynasty rankings I'm working on to see why I've ranked higher right now.
I just think with the target share and everything, and I know Jalen Hurts is way better than whatever Atlanta could put out, except Lamar, but they publicly stated that ain't going to happen. So I just feel like Drake London just the alpha. He alphaed Kyle Pitts in the games they played. I need to look up the exact amount of targets, but I remember it very clearly that he was the one producing and Kyle Pitts was blocking and not producing. So, and Arthur Smith is still the head coach there. So,
unfortunately.
I'm not saying
unfortunately.
Yeah, people should jump in the mocks. It would make me happy. The links are in the chat.
Yeah, we gotta get some people in here.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. Usually people love it when we mock. But I don't know. Let's say. Would you trade Pitts straight up for Andrews if you were in a win now situation? No.
Yeah, no. That's a definite no. Pitts. Pitts can help you win now. Pitts can.
Andrews also has a situation going on.
Yeah, he does with Lamar. We don't know what's going on with Lamar, and if Lamar's not there, that's a problem.
It's a big problem.
It is
a big problem.
Most definitely, yes.
I just wanted to say that.
And they brought in alpha wide receiver just a day ago.
Alpha wide receiver. He's not.
Yeah. No. Well, people could watch my my YouTube short. It was very good. No, it wasn't, but it's the best I could do. I'm not good at YouTube shorts, so I tried my best. I did a short on that. It should be cool. I think people will really enjoy it. Yeah. But I don't know. Mark Andrews is kind of a sell to me. Kyle Pitts is a buy. So
I agree.
Hey, Kyle Pitts. This is fun, eh? Well, Darren Waller doing real life what he's done for my Madden Ultimate team over 4 games. I wouldn't bet on it. I think you're going to do better with him in Madden than the Giants are going to do in real life. I'm not going to lie.
I'm actually pretty excited for Darren Waller with the Giants, to be quite honest. I think Darren Waller, I mean, currently, the Giants, obviously, they have draft capital. They could add a wide receiver. Like, they could absolutely do that. But Darren Waller right now currently is set up for a boatload of targets and to be easily Daniel Jones' number one option. Like, Darren Waller, I mean, and when you talk about tight end, when you talk about that kind of volume that he could see, like, I mean, depending on where he's drafted, like, he could definitely be a value. Because, I mean, lately it's been awful with Darren Waller due to injury. Like, it just hasn't been so great. I think people are going to be pretty down on him, but I think he's a screaming value right now, to be quite honest. I'd buy him in Dynasty. I'd buy him in redraft leagues. I think that the volume is going to be there, and he's going to be a fantastic fantasy tight end. I think that upside's there. Like, I don't like, who else do they throw the balls to right now?
That argument never works. That argument never works. He has to be good. I mean, you can't just say who else to throw the ball to. He has to stay healthy and then
great. We've seen him be amazing
in the past, but
like 2 years ago.
Consistently. Yeah, but 2 years ago it was a long time in the NFL.
2.5 years ago, Julio was a top 10 wide receiver.
He makes a good point. I like Patrick.
It's just been. I feel like Darren Waller. It's like the talent is still there. When he's on the field, he's been okay. It's just he's been injured the last 2 years. He's just been injured on and off the field. It just hasn't been working out. If he's healthy in the Giants, he's going to be good and he's going to be getting targets.
Oh, I hope so.
If he's on the field, I agree. He will command a target share if he's on the 100%. Field. But we don't want to hamstring him there and say he's going to be on the field for 80% of snaps for 16, 17 games.
Yeah, I'm very
concerned about that.
His draft capital right now has that baked in. His draft capital is so low right now. Like, he's not worth enough in Dynasty, I don't think, or in redraft either. In best ball right now, I don't think he's worth enough. I think people are really low on him.
I'd take a swing on him in best ball for sure.
Yeah, he's absolutely worth a swing.
In redraft, I wouldn't mind. In Dynasty, I'm good.
Yeah, in redraft,
I'm definitely a little lower because he's older and he's probably not even if he has a great season, he's probably not going to appreciate much in value, if at all. But I think if you're a win now team, it might be worth it for the next year or two.
He'll be going into week 2 as turning 31. So yeah. It could go both ways. We'll just have to wait and see.
There you go.
The only thing I say we'll have to see about is we'll have to see, about more shows. We'll have to see. You never know. There might not be more shows. There will be. Just a question of how the shows are going to look. We'll have to see. There are many, many potential changes.
Hey, we need 2 more people in the Superflex League. Jump in now. 2.
Let's go.
2 more. Do it now. 2 more.
So if you're here and putting up with Cranky Tyler today, I really appreciate you. And make sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell.
One more. Get in here.
Yeah. Just make sure to do all of that.
Come on.
And I appreciate all of you. The YouTube channel has been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Like obviously I seemed pretty pissy during yesterday's show. I don't seem happier today.
We got it.
So I just appreciate everyone for sticking with me throughout that. And I'm going to try to bring out the best that I have in better ways, because I've definitely been kind of hitting a wall lately. So look for some changes on the YouTube channel. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. But just, yeah. We can go ahead and start.
Let's do this.
I forget how much time I put. 60 seconds to pick. Yeah.
60 seconds, I think, is good. So remember, This is Superflex. Is it tight end premium? Let's say
it doesn't matter for the one.
Let's say it's not tight end premium, since we didn't say it was.
No tight end premium. Let's go.
Okay.
And there's only one.
I wonder who's gonna go at 1.
I love this. Traded for 101 for Tyler Boyd. Am I the best? Type of questions. Okay, I will say there was a trade 102 for 109 and Hunter Renfrow, and there were people who legitimately thought that 109 and Hunter Renfrow was like right, and I was like, no.
That's not even that's not even a decision.
Cut the crap.
It's not even a decision. Hunter Renfrow's not worth 7
Were you on those Facebook Dynasty chats?
No,
that's where I see
Reddit.
That's where I see that stuff. And I have
that GIF of the baby
I have to
like
be
running
careful.
out and then running back? That's how I felt about fantasy football Reddit.
Oh, come on. We had a timeout. It better be Bijan. There it is.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson.
Well, even the timeout could get the first pick right.
Yeah.
So we talked about this. Can we?
Oh,
if
wow.
Hold on. We could go.
Ooh. Wow,
this
that's
way.
a big
That's
trade.
spicy. That's spicy.
Bijan or Garrett Wilson, the 106. That's brutal. Because 106, I mean, you're probably looking at either Gibbs or JSN. Because there's probably going to be an Anthony Richardson truther that takes him at 103 or 104 or 102. There's probably going to be a guy in your league that does it. So Gibbs and Garrett Wilson, or JSN and Garrett Wilson, or Bijan.
Decisions.
I think I want the Wilson side just barely. It's so close. It's so close. But I think
is it?
I think it is close.
Really?
I think it's close. I think it's genuinely close. But I want Garrett Wilson.
To me, it's not a decision. So then it's not that close. If I don't have to think about it, it's not that close.
Yeah.
For me, it's Wilson
I'm
side by
taking
line.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. To me, there's no decision. So if there's no decision, then it's not close.
Okay. Stroud with 1, then Bryce Young easily number 3.
I really put myself at one of the worst spots in this draft. How could I do that?
Where are you at?
The 9. The 9
Oh,
hole.
the
And I
9.
got Tyler right in front of
You're at the
me.
9 spot. Oh man, yeah, the 9 spots. I hate like the 8th, 9th pick in the. I hate 107 specifically because you're right.
107 is the worst.
What?
107 is the worst right now.
It is seriously because I have the 107 in a dynasty league where I've been trying to trade it and no one wants it because it's a huge. Everyone knows the teardrop's there. I've either been trying to trade into the top 6 or completely trade away that pick for a different player, and I've gotten nothing. I've gotten
You gotta
nowhere.
wait till draft
It's
night.
so frustrating.
Those who have patience are rewarded.
Yeah.
It's at that point hoping that someone falls in love with someone just enough.
Yeah,
because you're at that place where you can
We're
be
having a lot of
indecisive
timeouts today.
about which
Yeah,
one you
seriously.
actually want.
Everyone else is in the draft right now, so we're
So now
good.
he's back. Do I just give him another 60 or what?
Yeah, give him another.
He has
Sure,
to
just
turn
go for
himself
it.
off auto though.
I don't know how to do that. No,
Yeah, I'll
never
just
mind.
keep going. Let's keep going.
Anthony Richardson. Yep, of course.
So I think in
With
most
Gibbs,
drafts,
yeah, excellent.
these will be the first 6 pretty much for everybody.
Oh yeah, you can't you can't not take those first 6 are the first 6.
It's
It's
interesting to see
very
Charbonnet at 107.
I think that's interesting. I think Charbonnet 107 is fine. I would probably rather take Quentin Johnston or Jordan Addison. But Charbonnet is a very solid 107 pick.
I like
Decisions.
Charbonnet.
I think those 3 are the next 3 picks for me. Charbonnet, Quentin Johnston, and Jordan Addison. I'm not a fan of.
I don't have the power. The Zapper. Oh, this will be part of my fantasy football OnlyFans. That's going to be a big activity. I think people should get excited for. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm actually not kidding.
I think Will Levis goes 104 to the Colts. I think you could
Well, I
lock
think
it in.
Will Levis and his mayonnaise would be a very important feature of my OnlyFans.
And doesn't he eat banana peels?
It gets worse. He puts fucking mayonnaise in the fucking coffee. And
Yeah,
then
he made the
eats
coffee.
banana
He ate
peels.
a
Now
rotten
you tell
banana.
me. He
Yeah,
eats
he did all
banana
kinds of
peels.
He ate just a straight it was all brown and stuff too. He
What
ate just
the
a straight
fuck?
banana peel, everything.
What?
And it was absolutely it was
Remember
absolutely
those composting science
That's
projects?
disgusting.
it was disgusting. It was so gross.
You know, I'm going to move him down a
Let's
few
take
more
my
spots
guy.
in my
Let's go for
rankings,
it.
I
Kendrick
think.
Miller, easily.
My quarterbacks are Lamar
Kendrick
and
Miller.
Kyler. That sounds pretty good.
That is not fun.
I mean, it's not bad if you
No,
have
it's not
someone
horrible,
else.
but those two are very, very.
I mean,
they're
look,
on
though,
the
a year
explosion
ago,
right
we
now.
would have said, whoa, this is like the great, amazing 2 quarterbacks you have.
Yeah,
And
seriously, yeah. But
now
it's
how
still
much
really
has
still
changed?
cracking.
Now it's not so good. You
Yeah.
know, it's not so good. So, wow, do things change in Dynasty very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jones owner has 102 and wants Higgins. What plus when you need to sell Higgins for Daniel Jones? What kind of plus would you need?
That's interesting. Man, I think a first would be too much to ask for. Higgins for Daniel Jones in a super flex league. I think that'd
I'm
be
asking for it though.
I mean, you can ask for it. I don't think you're going to get that.
You can ask for it. I mean, I would like to be an underwear model, for Abercrombie and Fitch, but like, I don't think that that's going to happen. Like, I would want that.
I don't think anyone's gonna. I mean, I would easily take Daniel Jones on a first for Higgins in a super flex. So I think you're more looking at like an early second, like an early mid second.
Yeah, and I'm okay with
proper
that.
value. I think that'd be okay value there in a super flex, assuming it's a super flex league. Because you're looking at guys. I mean, we're looking at this rookie draft right now. You're looking at like guys like Hyatt, Hooker, Evans, Downs, Tajay Spears, Kendrick Miller. Like
I really liked getting Tajay Spears at the 208.
That's a great pick. I love it. I actually recently did I've been starting I'm trying to getting better at studying film. I've been tweeting a lot about it lately. I did my first one was on Tajay Spears, and I'm in love with Tajay Spears' film. He is something different. He really is.
Nick, why don't you consider just going for that 102? Let the manager put his money where his mouth is there. He wants T, you want 102. He's coming to you. If he's coming to you asking for your Higgins, as you're saying, ask for the 102.
I think that'd be a solid move.
So
I like that.
Yeah, let's make sure. I mean, has anything been interesting in this mock so far? I mean, the rookie mock is so short. I mean, we can talk about it in more detail after it's done. Okay, we talked about this. Oh yeah, we miss you. We miss you, Matt.
What's up?
Downs, the steal of the draft. I like the value on Downs at 207 a lot. Josh Downs. And then Hutch, it's your turn.
Yes.
You guys will stop sleeping on Zay Flowers. I don't think I'm sleeping on Zay Flowers. He went at 111 in a superflex. How sleeping was that?
Oh, this is so tough. There's a few. I really like. Dang.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with getting QJ at 108 and then Tajay Spears
I want
at
to take
208.
Boutte, but I also don't want to take Boutte. You know what? I'll take my guy again. I'll take Washington. I can't get enough of him.
Washington.
He's a freak. He's just such a freak athlete. I know there's so much risk with him. There's so much risk.
Like I said, I was not impressed.
Yeah, I think he's a total.
Well, I mean, I watched film for the article. I wrote the Darnell Washington article for DLF, and I could not. I'm not gonna say he sucked, but I was not impressed. Nothing impressed me. I saw nothing impressive whatsoever. There was one play. I mean, one that I remember. It's bad when there were 10 plays from Brock Bowers in a highlight video that was not about Brock Bowers. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was not a good sign.
No, it's not. Yeah, he's just. I mean,
the title of the video was Darnell Washington highlights. Yet there were none of those. All of the highlights were of him blocking. There were no receiving highlights. Nothing.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the thing is though, when you look at guys, there's a really interesting list I saw on Twitter of tight ends who caught less than 100 passes in college. Like Gronk was on that list, and Tony Gates was on that list, like George Kittle was on that list. Like there were plenty of college tight ends who didn't catch many passes in college that actually had ton of success in the NFL. If I remember the list, I would pull it up and read it off. But there were so many just fantastic tight ends that didn't catch much in college that actually succeeded well in the NFL. And I understand there's absolutely so much risk with Darnell Washington. That's baked into his ADP at this point. I got him in the 3rd round. Like, if a team unlocks his athletic ability that he has, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, there's not many players who were taken behind him that I would have taken ahead of him. Rashee Rice is the big one. I would have definitely taken ahead of him. And a not tight end premium. Kayshon Boutte, too. I don't like him.
5.
That started, the expected draft capital is starting to come up a little bit.
Yeah, I was on the floor. I'd hope so.
Yeah, it is coming up. All right. I feel bad for who's ever in the 11 slot. Just a word of advice for anyone doing Superflex drafts: do not waste your time on any of the quarterbacks outside the first 5.
Yeah, seriously, don't.
Tanner McKee is horrible. There is nothing good about him. He is a waste of your time. Max Duggan in the same group, a waste of your time. Don't waste your time on him. All right. Would you pay 102 and Jahan Dotson for Jamar Chase? Yes, I would.
10 times out of 10. I don't care if
Yes.
you need a quarterback like you.
Yeah,
Like,
10
you
it
need a
does
quarterback?
nothing, changes nothing. It's Jamar Chase.
Yep, it is.
Spears at 208 is stealing. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Spears is great.
Almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost. I don't know. What do I know about rookies? Not much. So I don't want to say I know what I'm doing, but yeah, I'll take credit. Well, that's a little bit different. On Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates. Darnell Washington played plenty in college. He was there, but production was not there. All right, where are we? Oh, Kenny McIntosh. I remember when he was like a second-round pick. Remember?
No.
He was like a second-round pick, like in the early process, and his combine was a disaster.
I remember seeing Keishawn Boutte at like 108, 107.
Oh, I had him in the first round in my initial ranks.
Like
people saying like draft right after the college and NFL season ended. I'm like, you can avoid.
No, I had him in my first round.
Yep, you can make everyone avoid a disaster.
I had him in
like
my first
Keishawn
round for
Boutte.
sure. Do you guys see Gibbs jumping up past JSN based on landing spot or draft capital, hoping JSN falls past 105? I think Gibbs would have to go in the first to do that.
Yeah, he'd have to go. I mean, I don't know if it would happen like in the public, like general public, but it could absolutely happen in my rankings. Looking at Dynasty, like that could easily happen.
Well, if Gibbs goes in the first to the Chiefs, he'll be above JSN.
Oh my God,
no matter
yeah,
what.
it'd easily be.
So it is
If
possible.
Gibbs goes in the first to the Chiefs, he'd be competing for like the one. He'd be easily my locked in 104. Like it would be my 104.
He'd be 105 for me. Yeah, he's never going to move above the quarterbacks.
I'd put him.
He's just too flawed as a prospect. Not that he's flawed, but like
I'm too out on Richardson.
I don't see. There's an upside, a lacking upside with Gibbs that would struggle for me to put him above the quarterbacks who just in Superflex have such an easier journey. The journey to be worth a first-round pick as a running back in Superflex is hard. I mean, right now, Bijan is the only running back anywhere near it. The other ones are not first-round values. It's tough. It's a tough road. So you have to be just so good. And I don't know if Gibbs – to me, Gibbs is safe in that he's going to offer you something good. I'm pretty confident he's not going to bust, but I don't know if Gibbs is going to be a top 3 fantasy running back. I don't know if I see that. So I'm not going to have him above quarterbacks who are going to have the kind of draft capital that those three.
I can see that most definitely. I mean, his pass catching ability is everything. Like he is a.
It's tough. It's a tough road to get there that way because he's not someone who's going to have, 250 carries and. I mean, the Christian McCaffrey road, someone who has like 200 carries and 100 receptions. Yeah, the Austin Eckler road is tough.
You don't have to have like 200 carries as a running back anymore. Like you don't have to have that if you're getting pass.
Well, usually the top 3 are players who have a lot of carries and production in the passing game. The Austin Eckler road is tough. The Alvin Kamara road is tough. To be Austin Eckler, you have to be on a really good team. So if he goes to the Chiefs, the upside is there more. It's an easier road. But like that's where he would have to go to even have a possibility of it.
Austin Eckler also, what he brought into his game in the last few years is the touchdowns. And for someone like Jahmyr Gibbs, who even while he catches a ton of passes, wasn't finding the end zone nearly as much as someone that gets the usage that he gets. So that to me is a little bit of a red flag for Gibbs of like, yes, touchdowns are fluky and they can go back and forth depending on the year and everything like that. But on a college player, like I expect them to find the end zone.
Yeah, I really like Gibbs. Like, don't get me wrong. It's hard to imagine I'm going to take him over quarterbacks with the draft capital.
I think you're more likely to see Young, Richardson, and Gibbs all at 106 more than you will see JSN at 106.
I would agree. Yeah.
Thank you. I always like it when people are on my side, but it is my show on my channel, so I'm not surprised. I don't even have McIntosh in my rankings. He's off my board. Well, he's not off my board. I just was mostly commenting on the fact that I feel like that's one of the mighty have fallen situations. Kenny McIntosh was much higher in my rankings when we started the process. Now he's much lower. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. I always try to provide good things for the people. Yeah, okay. If you're at 104, it's this question. Right? So Young and JSN, even a 10-team Superflex, I'll still take Young.
Yeah, you got to take the quarterback. I mean, it looks like Bryce Young is going to go 101 now. The odds massively shifted back
Toward
to Bryce
that way.
Young.
Yeah, everything is pointing toward Young being the 101 now.
Oh, interesting. You know, things
Like all like the
change.
betting odds have him as the favorite right now. It's all shifted
Wow.
over.
I mean, you know, that's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles, right?
And you know,
yeah.
CJ Stroud's not going to be a Texan, so there's no shot he goes to Houston.
Why not?
Because
Well,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he shares an agent with Watson. I don't think they want that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's.
I don't think Watson's agent was the problem there. I think it was
No,
him.
but
Yeah, I don't think
But
Watson.
I think it was him touching people inappropriately.
do you think?
I think that
I
was-
feel like
that was part of the problem,
that
though.
was the problem, but I feel like Watson's agent would have beef with the Texans.
I don't.
I
Think
mean,
so.
it got his guy $230 million guaranteed in the trade.
I just think he's not going to go there. I don't. Just a gut feeling. They did say they're not going to take quarterback today. That's a lie, but like they want Bryce Young. It's so obvious. No one said it, but it's just so obvious. Everyone knows who they want.
Well, you know, Lovie Smith screwed him.
Good.
Very much did. Yeah,
They deserve that.
they did.
So, what do we think of this draft overall? What do we think of this mock draft?
I don't like my picks.
I
Here's the one
like what
QB
Tyler
one
said
that we're
earlier
gonna do
about the
next.
quarterbacks outside the top 5. Yeah, these guys are all players that are not worth taking shots on. Hendon Hooker should be the last quarterback drafted in a Superflex draft. Like these quarterbacks are just not worth taking the shots on.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe I'd take Stetson Bennett if he actually gets 4th round draft capital in the mid to late 4th. Maybe the other ones, no.
Hasn't Dorian Thompson-Robinson been getting a little bit of buzz lately?
Not for me.
Not from
Yeah.
you, but I've been in the Twitter world. I've been hearing him getting a little bit of buzz from
I don't pay attention to that.
credible
world anymore.
people. So maybe if he gets somehow round 2 or not, day 2, round 3 draft capital, maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, most of what I've noticed is that Hendon Hooker's price, like average selection price, is rising, and everyone else is falling.
I don't think we've seen the end of the rise of Hendon Hooker. I think he goes round 1 on draft night. I'm buying into that.
Think that no other quarterbacks go on the first 2 days.
How do you
other than
guys?
those 5?
Oh, yeah, no way. How do you guys feel about the 201 Devon and Kane? I'm like very like. I'm pretty concerned about him size because he's 185.
That's what I would have done, but that's one of my patrons, so it's not.
I don't
surprising
think
that they made.
you would have taken him 2.1
Yes.
over all those running backs.
Yes, I would have.
NFL value speed. They're going to value A-Chain, and he's going to go very high.
I also wrote the article on Devon A-Chain.
I hope he somehow lands in Miami. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, it would be.
I didn't choose that one, but I didn't choose the articles, but I did write the article on Devon A-Chain. And I liked him. A lot of speed.
Right, he's so electric. He's so electric, but yeah, it's 185 is small. Jahmyr
It's a new
Gibbs is
world.
elite. What?
It's a new world.
It is.
Got that right. It's just Oh, I also like Roshan Johnson at the end of the second.
Oh, Roshan Johnson's great.
I kind of like him more than my Sean Tucker pick, and I kind of like him a lot more than Tank Bigsby. I just think
Not a
Tank
Tank Bigsby person.
He's that faller.
it just feels like there was so much buzz about him in the Devy community 1 or 2 years ago, and now he might go on day 2. Like, you know, like he was some people's guy. So
Yeah.
Honestly, at the end of the day, when it comes to this running back class, I just want the guys that went on day 2. I love every running back taken in like the first couple rounds. Like I like a lot, but it just I want the guys taken on day 2.
I was gonna say I looking at these drafts more and more, I'm seeing 6, 7, 8 running backs taken in the second round. If you're sitting at the early part of the second round with a running back and you're like, I feel like I'm going to draft running back, I'm indecisive on who it's going to be. Take it back, get a veteran and a 207. Trade back from the 203 to the 207 and just still get that running back. Because chances are even the guy that you like is still going to be there because it's someone else's flavor of the month.
Yep, exactly.
It's going to come down to so much personal preference that you can accumulate value in that second round by trading back way more easily and way more readily than you are likely in making a deal in the first trade around.
Now, if Josh Downs is there at 203 and I still need a running back, I don't care. I'm taking Josh Downs at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there you go. Like, if you got your guy that you're like, I need to get this guy, but if you're indecisive at all about your pick,
okay, I agree.
Find that person that's fingers crossed, hoping that you're not gonna pick their guy. And
I don't know about you guys, but draft capital is going to decide a lot for me. Like I feel like
everything for the running back position, everything.
My personal preference is going to decide tiebreakers at this point, to be quite honest with you. So we'll see how the draft falls. I'm excited to do that too.
That's it. Like, yeah, right now I'm just like in rookie drafts. Like when it comes to running back position, I'm taking the guy. That's why I took Kendra at 2.3. Like I am personally like I think Kendra Miller is the third most talented back in this class. I am definitely worried about draft capital because he didn't test at the combine and. You know,
he
all
had
that
2 top 30 visits today.
I must have looked at. To me, I must have looked at a different player because I don't see that.
You don't see what?
Oh, him as the third best. I don't.
I
must have examined a different player. I don't know. I didn't see that.
I saw when I watched him play. When I watched a lot of film on him, I saw a guy who just does not get tackled. He does not get brought down. Ever.
To me,
like, he is a guy who gets insane yards after contact. He's a guy who can catch the ball. Didn't get the opportunity as much in college, but can catch the ball well. And he's a guy who's not like 80-yard touchdown explosive very much, like a Bijan or like a Jahmyr Gibbs, but he can very easily take like a 40-yard chunk, 30-yard chunks. Like he can easily get those all the time. Like Kendra Miller is overall, he's very sturdy, 215. He's a guy who can take a workload in the passing game, in the rushing game. Like he is overall a great back. Who is just a monster.
I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed. It didn't impress me. To me, really, the way I see the running back class is it's actually very simple. It's very simple to me. Bijan Robinson is the best running back prospect in many years. Jahmyr Gibbs, very good. Very good. Unlikely to bust. Good across the board. Zach Charbonnet, take everything a step down from those two. Solid in everything. Not jumping off the page, doesn't have the pass catching of Gibbs, nothing elite like Bijan Robinson, but Zach Charbonnet, good pro. He's going to get the third best draft capital almost for sure. He is the clear 3. The biggest, the gap between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4 is almost equal to me. Like the gap between 1 and 2 is pretty big. The gap between 2 and 3, to me, Gibbs and Charbonnet is pretty big. And the gap between Charbonnet and everyone else is pretty big. I don't see, for me, I would say it's weird, but I would almost say the first 3 players are 3 separate tiers because they're completely different talents. And then everyone else is all the same. Devon A-Chain, I almost mark as a bizarre wild card because if he gets draft capital, I see him as having an upside that the rest do not. But after Devon A-Chain, I see almost no difference between Tajay Spears, who I have at 5, and, Israel Abanikanda, who I have all the way down at, I don't even know.
Yeah, 11. And I do want to mention...
Not even that different with Dwayne McBride and Chase Brown at 12 and 13. Like, to me, the difference between Tajay Spears and Dwayne McBride is less than the difference between Zach Charbonnet and Tajay Spears. If that makes sense.
All right, let's get this underway.
So when
Yeah,
I
I
say
do
that the
wanna-
running back class is deep, I say that the running back like 10, 11, 12, 13 are some of the best of that we have ever had. Like the 10th best running back in this class might be like the best 10th best running back we've had. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
The
This
depth
class
is
so deep.
extreme,
This class is
but there's
extremely
just
deep.
no difference to me between the 5th in talent between 5th and 13th. It's all going to be draft capital. The tiers in my rankings are not based on, well, I like Tajay Spears was at the bottom of that
Hey Tyler, you're on the
2
clock.
months ago. I know. Tajay Spears was at the bottom of that 2 months ago. But now that he's risen in draft capital, now he's moved to the top. It's interesting. I'm not very original. Now it's Quentin Johnston again for me.
Shoot.
Hey, Mystical
not very
Child went
original.
101 Bijan twice.
Oh, if anyone was interested, I made the switch from from Jordan Addison at 2 to Quentin Johnston at 2, I think in my last rookie rankings update on my Patreon. I just feel that the draft capital difference between QJ and Addison is going to be high.
I'm concerned.
Someone's gonna take a shot at Johnson because his size, there's a lot of smaller receivers in this draft at the top. His size is just such a difference maker that someone's gonna be willing to take that first round shot on him. And
So yeah, this is the chalk
he has
6.
so much potential, man. Like this dude, like his size and his speed, like when you watch him play, like at his size, he's not supposed to be as fast or as quick as he is. It's just insane. He's really a freak.
Did you see his 3 cone?
What?
His 3 cone.
No, I didn't. But I did.
It was 7.31. That's horrible, right?
God, that is.
Unless I read it wrong
oh my God.
or didn't understand it.
He is unbelievable. Like it's so weird. Like he plays like he's a 5'10", like 190 wide receiver. Like, he plays so fast, man. He plays so quick. Like he can make you miss. Like he can juke you out of your ankles. He can make you miss. Like, but he could also just run straight through if he wants to. Like he's just insane. But he doesn't know how to play football. He doesn't know how. Like he just really he doesn't use his body to his advantage and ever. His contested catch rate was so bad last year for his size. It was unbelievably bad in his last college season. Like he just doesn't use his size to his advantage. There are often times where you see like a contested catch where he drops it and he very much should have caught it. Like I've been watching a lot of film lately. There's so many contested catchers like, oh my gosh.
I saw your Twitter thread about the film.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of I have the paper right here. I wrote down like everything about I
love him. You wrote it down.
I did. Yes. Like, I did actually like
with
a
pen.
Screw technology. Yeah.
Pencil paper. I wrote this down because I was in school today and I had so much free time because I had finished my work early. So I pulled up my Chromebook. I pulled up Quentin Johnston game film and I decided, let's go for it. Let's just do this. So it's just so like. Man, he just doesn't know how to play. He doesn't have any mechanics whatsoever. It's so ridiculous. Like he just doesn't have anything. It's
let me say this.
Like he doesn't block well. He doesn't. When he runs his routes on his breaks, it's so interesting. When he runs his routes on his breaks, he does a very simple mistake. Like his shoulders and his head always go way up when he's about to break, and it gives DBs such an easy jump on the route. Like it's coming. Like it's a very simple thing, but he does it all the time. And every time he catches a comeback route, it's so weird. He always has this weird spin to the outside move he does. Every single move. Every single time he has a comeback route, he spins to the outside. NFL DBs are going to be all over that.
So
all over that.
So let me say this. So this draft went very chalky. It went Bijan Robinson, JSN, Gibbs, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, Zach Charbonnet, Zay Flowers, which is the exact top 8 that I have in the top 7. In the exact order that I have them. So, I haven't seen, that's mostly what I've seen. And then at 8, it starts to get interesting. At 8, it really starts to get interesting. It was Bryce Young in this draft, which I think is way too early for any of these.
Yeah, for one QB, that's.
I would have taken A-Chain. Downs would have been my second choice.
You got Mayer at 204. Like
yes. I like that.
That's the consequence of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud getting.
Yes, I like that. Mayer to me, I am a little concerned, but it depends on where he goes. This mock draft I see that has him going to Jacksonville at 24. I don't love. I think he can play right away. I wouldn't want him to go somewhere with an established tight end.
Fair enough. I mean, Ingram's only on a 1-year deal though. They could easily...
I'd much prefer this projection, the where they have Dalton Kincaid going, which is to Dallas at 26.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Hutch, were you trying to take Evans there?
Oh, sorry. Shoot, I forgot I was on the clock. My bad. I would not have taken Zach Evans, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Pretend I took Sean Tucker. I would have taken Sean Tucker there.
I also prefer Sean Tucker over Evans barely.
I would take
I
would take Bigsby over Evans as well.
Oh no. I clicked on Roschon Johnson's name and I saw someone else, so I would one more. Oh boy.
Yeah. So for me, I do like my pick of Michael Mayer at 204, even without the premium. Seemed nice.
I'm about it. I mean,
What else? I mean, I do think. Let's see. Kendra Miller keeps going very high. 202 is too high for me. Again, I just don't get it. Jalen Hyatt at 201, I like a lot. That was definitely a value. Tajay Spears at 112 is a very much a reach. I would much rather have Jalen Hyatt.
I am so confused how Marvin Mims is still on the board in the 3rd round.
I am very confused. Yeah, there's something has gone very wrong.
There we go.
Marvin Mims.
There we go.
Yeah, Marvin Mims. I
receive.
have it 16 in this format, and he went at 25 overall. So yeah,
I clicked on Roschon Johnson's name and then I saw Marvin Mims. I'm like,
I'd much rather have Marvin Mims over Roschon Johnson.
I don't know. We'll see if Roschon Johnson gets the capital. I'm in. But
Patrick, I love it. You're telling people to like the video. I totally approve. And telling people to join the mock. Send Russ, Jonathan Taylor, DK, and 112 for Burrow and 24 first in 12-team Superflex. I'll take. Oh man, that's brutal. That is a lot to pay. Would you pay that for Burrow?
Oh man, that's brutal. That's a lot. Well, for Burrow and a 24 first, right?
Give me Burrow.
Yeah, but there's a lot in there.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, 112.
Oh, I didn't see Russ in there. Shit. Like I'm down on Russ.
Oh shoot, I didn't see Russ either.
I just saw Jonathan Taylor, DK, and 112. I was like, that right there. Oh, that's so bad.
Oh, I wanted Washington. Okay.
You can't have it.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, I wanted somewhere else. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. Ooh.
Oh, and sniped on Darnell Washington. Oh, Hutch. Oh no.
I do like Xavier Hutchinson. I'll take him. Not just because he has my name, but
I'm not a big fan of his. I don't know. I learned my lesson. In the 4th or the 5th.
I learned my lesson with Akeem Butler a couple of years back. Never making that mistake again.
What lesson do you learn?
That big, tall, fast wide receivers that get hyped up way before the draft and go 101 pre-drafts, and like Malik Willis did last year, don't pan out too often because they don't get the draft capital. Who else was on there? Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. What do we think about this? About this Burrow trade? It's very bizarre.
It really is. Oh my goodness, it's
tough. It would be tough to give all this up.
Yeah. It's
for me, Russ and a 24 first are relatively close. I'd rather have the 24 first. But
yeah, it's really
JT, DK, and a 112 for Burrow. I mean, it's tough getting the quarterback, but I don't know. I mean, I think the value is on the
and 112 in a super flex too. It's a pretty valuable pick.
The value is with JT, but I do encounter, and it's a little bit of stupidity that I encounter this. People are very, whenever I see a trade on Twitter, there's a contingent, a very noisy contingent that's not necessarily the most intelligent. That whenever they see someone like Mahomes or Josh Allen or Burrow, they're like, it's always that side, no matter how much it costs in Superflex. And
I saw a comment that you put on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not the most intelligent way to play. It's never always anyone. Everyone has a price. Everyone is available. So that's not a good way to think about Dynasty. Now, I would say that this would not be the way I would use my assets. I don't think I would give up, an elite assets and then add a quarterback and then I don't know. It's just not what I would do. You can do better with these assets than this.
I feel like your points above replacement, like how your weekly lineup is going to look, improves quite a bit with that package side.
I want to know what the rest of this guy's team looks like that's sending the Burrow.
Yeah, but you don't get to know that.
Yeah.
I know I don't get to know that because if his team's kind of middling and the 24 first can maybe be something,
Well, speaking
then
of
I'm leaning
middling,
the Burrow side pretty
someone
easily.
said that Drake London was mid on Twitter today.
And
I saw that too. I saw that.
I gotta go have that.
Am I
Gotta go have
just
a
like
shaft
in?
big
Am I just in everyone's feed?
You're in my feed a lot.
I have a pretty good algorithm, I suppose. You know.
I see you in my feed a lot. You tweet like a billion times a day.
Yeah. Well, one day I might go into retirement, and then there won't be as many tweets.
I feel like I've already went into retirement on Twitter.
I
Unofficial retirement.
deleted Twitter off my phone, and it's
Oh, you deleted it.
so
Wow.
freeing. So it's just on my desktop. So when I get home, I check my DMs, I see what I need to get on. And
Yeah,
it's
I've
been
had to
freeing.
be on Twitter. I've had to be on Twitter less lately because of my concussion that I learned I had. So
Yeah, tell the people
yeah.
about that. That's interesting. It's more interesting than anything I'm saying right now. Go ahead.
So about a week or two, I guess so. About a week or two ago, I learned that I have a mild concussion. So I've had to limit my time on screens and all that. So my time on Twitter has been on and off. I've been trying my best. I've been doing my best to do stuff. I was planning on recording a podcast Monday night, and it was bad. It was bad. My headache was really bad. I was dead. So I just could not get up to record a podcast for my show. So hopefully I'll do that later this week.
So I want to make a point about the tight ends in this class. I think we'll move on from that. A point about the tight
Team
ends
was
in this
middling,
class.
by
So
the way. He
the
responded.
point is that I would say the tight end 5 currently in this class is projected to have more draft capital than Trey McBride had last year. So I think you're going to get values on these tight ends like Sam Laporta, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave. I think they're going to be some big values because people are not going to be as excited because they're the tight end, 4, 5, 6. But they're going to get similar draft capital to what Trey McBride got last year. He just went higher because he was the tight end 1. So keep that in mind. Where was I? Whatever. Okay. So yeah, not too much difference between 1 QB and Superflex.
Yeah, obviously just less quarterbacks, and they're just not as highly valued. Obviously,
I wouldn't draft Hendon Hooker in a 4-round 1 QB draft.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Probably not. I think he'd go in the 5th for me.
Unless he goes in the first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay throwing him on your taxi squad.
Then
if
I
he,
might.
goes to Detroit in the 2nd or something like that.
yeah.
I still don't think I'd draft him in the 4th. This is a deep class.
I would
It's a
trust
deep
him
class.
over Dell.
No, I'd
maybe
rather
over
have
Gray.
Dell. I'd rather have Dell or Gray.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, look at that. Oops. I didn't get the
Scheme is
alert.
middling. All right. Gibbs,
trade.
Similar to ETN as prospects. No, I don't agree with that. I think Gibbs is a better prospect. Ironically, ETN would have been I'd say yes if ETN had come out after, early. But for some reason, he didn't declare early, which actually hurt him. Coming back the last year did not help his prospect profile. So if you had an extra year of ETN, then maybe. But otherwise, no. They were similar, though, going into that last year. I don't hate that. I don't hate this take.
No, not at all.
I think Gibbs would be lucky to have the same draft capital that ETN got.
Well, yeah, no one expected that.
And that was kind of a shocker.
That was a
Oh
shock.
yeah, ETN in the first. I remember the reactions that those were.
Yeah, I think
madness.
Gibbs' ceiling is what? 26 to Dallas? And I find that to be very unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think that's likely.
I'd say 30 to 50, but I doubt it.
No, I don't think they're going to take a back like him. I feel like that he would not fit in their offense.
28 Cincinnati.
There it is. There.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
They
That'd
might
be
so
sprint
great,
to the
man.
podium
That'd be
to put that
so
in.
great.
31 Kansas City, obviously.
He's so great. I would.
I feel like someone, I don't know, I just got that feeling that someone's going to trade into the back half of round 1 to jump these teams that could take Jahmyr Gibbs and take him. I think he gets round 1 capital, honestly.
Not every landing spot for Jahmyr Gibbs is good. There are some teams at the top of the second who could take a running back where there's going to be a little bit of a delay. Specifically, I have my eyes on 40 New Orleans and 41 Tennessee.
Can't New Orleans take him in the first, though? I mean, they won't, but...
They won't. New
They
Orleans,
could.
after signing Jamal Williams, seems like a stretch. That would have to think that Alvin
that would
Kamara
be
is gone. 41 Tennessee, though. It's the reverse of DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. It's you're bringing in the smaller back as the successor. The complement then successor. I could see. And I would not like it.
I don't think that happens. I think
No.
pick 41 is going to another team. I am on the boat that Tennessee is going to absolutely sell the farm and go up to number 3 and pick a quarterback.
Yeah. Potentially.
Wouldn't be too
I would
shocked.
say Jahmyr Gibbs' floor. I mean, 44 Atlanta, if they didn't already take Bijan, I don't think he'll get past them. They love to run the ball. 46
they
New
won't.
England. 46
He's not
New
going to go
England.
out to the top 50 picks.
Yeah, I do worry about New England. If we wouldn't
That'd
like
be-
that. But if somehow he slides all the way to 46,
We have bigger
New England-
That would be
problems.
gross. That'd be. So
it would be gross, but
So
I
gross.
wouldn't surprise.
I mean, the Patriots have been doing their due diligence on running backs, haven't they? I believe
They have. They really
they
have.
posted
It's
some visits.
scary,
I don't
man.
remember
It's
exactly who, but I
scary.
just remember seeing some tweets. So
Yeah, they really have. It's scary. I'm really scared for one of these top running backs could end up.
I agree with Patrick. Like the video. Like the video. If you like what we did here, like the video.
Absolutely.
Even if you didn't, still like the video.
If you didn't, yeah, like the video
exactly,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, like the video
I mean-
anyway, even if you didn't like what we're doing. Even if you didn't like it.
YouTube protects our feelings by not showing dislikes. So just hit the like.
I
button.
can see them. I can see the dislikes.
Whoa.
In YouTube Studio, I can see the dislikes. Not who made them, but I can see the number.
Interesting.
But it protects your guys' feelings. What quarterback can be acquired with Lance 104 and 112? Oh,
Ooh.
someone very good.
Oh yeah, you're acquiring a lot with that.
I'm thinking second tier kind of guy.
Go get Trevor Lawrence for it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
absolutely
that would
make that
work.
trade.
Yeah,
I would
that's what
absolutely
you
make that
should be
trade.
shooting for. I don't think you're going to get like Joe Burrow.
No,
But I would-
I think you're gonna have to be looking for outside of that top 4 or 5 tier.
I mean,
like
maybe
Mahomes,
the Lamar
Allen,
owner or
Herbert
I will
manager.
say,
I mean,
if you
Herbert.
do not believe in Trey Lance, this is the type of move to get rid of him. Instead of selling him for something, trying to package him with something, I don't hate. You might even, if you can find a Trey Lance believer, you might be able to get away with Lance and 104 for Trevor Lawrence. You might be able to get away with that. And
You
I
think you
would-
get away with Lamar?
Lamar is worth less than
I don't know.
is worth less to me than Trevor Lawrence, significantly less. So I mean, I'm not sure I'd pay this for Lamar. I don't think so. With the 112 out, maybe. But with the 112 in, I think that's too much. I'm not looking to buy into Lamar. I mean, I sold Lamar very cheap. Very cheap. I was just I kind of regret it in hindsight. I mean, you ever have that feeling, or not that feeling, but you have an offer at Snap accepted, and you're like, oh fuck.
Dang.
Like, I could have gotten more, and B, like,
Yeah.
did
Oops.
I really make the right
I've had that a
decision?
couple times.
I had one of those things. I was just kind of not really thinking, and I kind of regret it. I don't regret it, but I could have gotten more. Oh well.
You think San Fran regrets picking Trey Lance over like Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase, specifically Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Ooh, yes, 100%.
If you're a win now team, which rookie quarterback do you believe is most NFL ready?
I think that answer is easy. Is it not? Is it not CJ Stroud?
It's CJ Stroud.
It is. Yeah. It is Stroud.
Anthony Richardson. I mean, we're talking win now dynasty. Anthony Richardson is probably not going to get on the field.
He's the clear no answer. It's either Young or Stroud. It's one of those two.
Young or Stroud. I think they're
One of
both
those
going to
two.
start from the beginning. I mean,
Yes.
Young, if he's going to go. For me in my rookie ranks, if it switches back to Young being first, then I'll probably pick him first. They're so close to me between Young and Stroud.
But also, if you're win now, why are you forcing a rookie quarterback into your lineup?
That's probably true. Neither of them are going to be very helpful.
Yeah, I'm not counting out. History says rookie quarterbacks don't have top 12 seasons. There's
and the
few
ones
exceptions.
that have
few
mostly
exceptions.
been because of their rushing.
So who are we actually? What do we actually want? If you have the 102, sure, go sell that for a quarterback that's not a rookie quarterback who's going to help your team win this year.
I mean, who was the last rookie quarterback who had fantasy success who didn't do it a majority on the ground?
Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, and that's a long time ago.
You could say
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert
yeah.
was pretty good. Justin Herbert was pretty good.
I think
Herbert in 2020.
Burrow was on his way there
Andrew
too
Luck.
before the injury.
Yeah,
No,
Burrow
Burrow was on the way. Burrow was on his way
Burrow
there.
was not there for fantasy yet.
He was sneaky good. He had some good weeks.
You can
Right,
get a
good
solid.
week, but Burrow was not even a top 12 quarterback in the game.
No, he wasn't. He was okay. He had some
No.
good weeks.
Burrow was in a different category. The category you're hoping for, where they show that they're good in real life in year one, not quite a top 12 quarterback for fantasy, but they show real life, and then in year two it happens for fantasy. That's common. That happens all the time. That's your Burrow is a good example of that. For your non-rushers or the ones who don't. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young both fit into that category where rushing is not going to be what gets them there. It's usually that you get to see some life in year one, and then year two is the fantasy breakout. Your runners can do it. I mean, if Anthony Richardson does get on the field, then I think he'll be good for fantasy. The problem is a lot of the runners haven't gotten on the field lately. Trey Lance didn't get on the field. Lamar Jackson only got on the field for the last 5 games or so. So we don't have a good history of the last runner to really get on the field from the beginning was Kyler Murray, and he did pretty well.
There have been a total of 3 rookie quarterbacks to score more than 300 fantasy points.
Kyler was one of them, right?
Kyler just missed the cutoff at 297.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
pretty
I think
close,
we'll take that as a success.
Take that.
Yes, but
Take that
you're
one as
looking at
success,
putting that into last year's fantasy finishes. You're looking at quarterback 7 or quarterback 8.
That's pretty good. As a rookie, we
that's
will
pretty
take
good.
that.
I don't
Yeah,
see
we'll
any of those
take that.
guys having quarterback 7 or 8 seasons.
No, I don't.
I
The
think
only
you
one,
could go find a quarterback 7 or 8 for cheaper.
the only one is I don't think that. I think Bryce Young's forever ceiling is not much above QB7.
Yep.
CJ Stroud, I think a little higher. The floor to me, maybe a little lower. Bryce Young, I'm a little more confident in long term. But I don't know if he's quite as ready. And then Anthony Richardson, if he gets on the field. But
Ceiling's QB1.
Will Levis to me is so irrelevant because Will Levis is both bad and nowhere near really ready. So I don't know. I don't see Will Levis having a good range of outcomes as a rookie. I can't get the Zach Wilson stank off of him.
Was it the banana, the coffee, or
Oh,
skin
God. I mean,
tape?
between the banana, there was a banana problem, a coffee problem. There was another problem. I mean, so many problems. His attitude was a problem. People didn't like him.
He did awful
he didn't-
interviews.
He didn't ace the interviews like Anthony Richardson. He totally aced them, but, Will Levis was so bad. Well, okay, but you have a lot of old guys, so you don't have to force a rookie. You could trade for a veteran. You have the 103. There are ways to trade for a veteran.
You
just
could,
wait till
A championship is worth more than having a balanced age roster.
All right, but you can't trade the 103. I think you can trade the 103 for Dak Prescott these days.
Yeah, someone would take that.
yeah. But
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's a
I'd do that.
possibility. People are tired of Dak Prescott.
it's a risk, but I'm waiting until that 103 is on the clock. I'm assuming 101 goes Bijan, of course. I think that's pretty fair to assume at this point for most teams. I know I've seen some arguments about.
I think
against it on
102 is
Twitter.
going to be whoever is in Carolina.
Yeah, whoever goes to Carolina, and then
I think that's fair. I think
103
that's how it should be.
could be the ultimate gambling value because if Anthony Richardson gets the spot, he gets the draft capital. Someone in.
I mean, I just traded for a 103, so that's I got a 103 and a 25 first back for Lamar.
Ooh.
Yeah, looking at that team, it's not screaming to me that I want to run the risk of a rookie quarterback. I want something that I know what it is that I'm getting, and I know what I'm sliding into my QB2 spot. I want that low end QB1, high end QB2.
I agree with you in this scenario, but I'm just saying, like, Anthony Richardson could get the spot and the value, and someone in your league's gonna want him and want to just start a bidding war.
There are already people who are willing to take him like 102. Like, people are all in on Anthony Richardson. I mean, I'm not personally with it. I mean, I'm personally like not super in on Richardson, but there's someone in your league who's willing to take that shot. Absolutely.
There's gonna be someone. There has to be someone.
There will be plenty of if he gets drafted in the top 4, like to the Colts or something, there will be plenty of teams that are taking him at the 102. There will be plenty of rookie drafts where he goes 102 or 103, 100%. Like, it's inevitable.
10-team Superflex. What QB should I try and trade for with the 102 plus? I have Watson, Kyler, and Lance. Wow. If you said that a year ago.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Yeah. How excited would you have been?
Just a little bit.
And now, not so excited. 102 plus. I mean, 102 plus, if it's plus, should be getting you. For me, if I were going for Lamar, I'm not trying a plus. I'm just going 102. If that's not taken, I'm moving.
I would try. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying that. If that's not accepted, I'm moving on. Fields, I'd be willing to add
first.
Late second? No. No, I'm not going to add a first to a superior, who I think is a superior prospect to Justin Fields.
Is CJ Stroud?
Either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. They're going to have more draft capital. They're both going to be top 3.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields went at 11. So just by the virtue of that, they're, to me, would be superior. They were good enough. They were both very good in college. Very good. So that they would be superior, assuming they get the top 3 draft capital. So Justin Fields has some success in the NFL. He ran, but I'm not going to add a first to one of them to get Justin Fields.
I was thinking, I would think a late first. I was thinking like
I'm not
10,
going to do that.
110, 112. I think 110, 112 or early second around that value.
No, those are the kind of those are dangerous. Those are dangerous. Yeah. When you have something really good and you're adding a first to it to get another really good thing, especially if, future one is really bad or one in this class, it's 110. I could see it. I think if it were Trevor Lawrence, I would consider it more because Trevor Lawrence to me is elite and not going anywhere. Justin Fields carries risk that Trevor Lawrence does not have. Trevor Lawrence is elite.
Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence is easily 102.
If you said 102 and 110 for Trevor Lawrence, I'd be more into that. For Justin Fields, it's too much. I can't pay it. Because the reality is, if they go 3-14 again, Justin Fields is going to be on a different club.
Yeah, most likely.
Or if they have the Panthers #1 overall pick, I will tell you that this class is not next year's class. The Bears would abandon Justin Fields for Caleb Williams.
I think there is a handful of teams that wouldn't abandon their quarterback.
I think most teams would abandon their quarterback for Caleb Williams.
I'm trying to think like maybe 6 or 7 off the top of my head. That's about it.
The Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar after his extension, wherever he goes, Deshaun Watson, because he's locked under that money. But that's about
maybe Dak, maybe
Kyler.
That's the line.
The money.
No, I tweeted out today. Kyler's going to get.
I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I think Kyler's contract is worth negative, so they have to pay to get rid of it. It's that bad.
That team is going to be the 101 next year. That's my prediction. They got ravaged defensively in free agency.
Oh, they are.
We'll have to see.
They're gonna be the worst team.
I do think
the worst team.
100%.
Kyler's contract is worth negative. It's that bad.
Yeah,
I really think it's like Jared Goff. It's that bad. It's
It's
so
brutal.
much for someone who's not worth anywhere near it. It's like a hamstring your cap, like disaster type contract.
But,
So,
but
for
you
real
know
life.
some team is going to want to take it.
I
I
don't know.
think so.
Teams
People are
balked
so desperate.
teams balked at Lamar's cost, and Lamar is significantly better for real life than Kyler.
Yeah, that's 2 firsts though, on top of the contract.
Well, I mean, I don't think teams are going to be. No one's lining up to trade for Kyler Murray after an injury missed year and all these bad things about him. I think it's going to be tough. So they might be stuck with him for those reasons, or have to eat. If they're not stuck with him, they're going to have to do something horrible to their team to get rid of him.
They're going to
They're gonna
Brock
have to
Osweiler
eat.
him.
Well, they're either going to have to eat a significant amount of money or attach something to him to make all the money go away. One of those two.
Teams in shambles.
Yeah. Oh, that team is in the worst shape of any team in the NFL.
By a
They're the
mile.
team dead
I really
last
hope-
on my list of like real life situations.
I really
would
hope
not
Will
want to
Anderson
be.
doesn't
I
go
would
there.
not take the job as the general manager of the Cardinals. I would not take that job. That
I hope
job
they
would be a
trade
pass
down.
for me.
I want to
Oh,
see
they
Will
have- they have
Anderson
to.
somewhere that he could succeed. So
I agree with you when you said Tennessee is on the list. Tennessee is on the list of teams interested trading up. Absolutely on the list. They
I'd
should
say-
be on the list.
there's 6 teams, right? That's confirmed Schefter's report, right? 6 teams.
Which
Four
were
or six,
those?
Yes.
I mean,
Do they-
Indianapolis is on the list for sure. Tennessee for sure.
Atlanta probably.
Atlanta
Las
could be on
Vegas.
the list.
Vegas I'd include.
Vegas maybe.
And then it starts to get like
do you
maybe
think
Detroit.
Minnesota could be on that list if they're planning on moving?
I
up
think
from
New England is
2000?
the other team on the list.
New England.
That
I
still
think
leaves
New
one
England is
more.
the other team on the list. They're the one that makes the most sense because they are done with Mac Jones. They're just not interested. They just don't like him. And they could go up, draft Anthony Richardson, and then send Mac Jones packing.
They really could.
Yeah, start Billy Zappi for half the season.
I'd hate that for Anthony Richardson though.
Oh, I'd hate it. He
That'd be
would be a
bad.
terrible fit there. Yeah, terrible. It would be a terrible landing spot.
You think he'd go up for Will Levis, jump the Colts?
I think Bill Belichick knows better than that. The last thing Bill Belichick wants is he can't get along with Mac Jones because Mac Jones can't deal with Bill Belichick's personality. Will Levis is going to be an improvement? Is going to deal with it better?
No,
I think it's going to be much worse. Anthony Richardson, actually, personality-wise, I think would be a good fit in New England. The problem is that the play style just doesn't work.
I want to get your guys' opinion on something. It's kind of fantasy related, kind of not. What are the odds you think 4 quarterbacks go in the top 4?
Not 0.
Oh man,
Not 0. I mean,
it's
I-
not
Arizona
0.
would have to trade out.
Oh,
It's
it's
currently
so high,
constructed
much
at
higher than
0,
0.
but
I have it as the odds that Arizona trades out of that pick. I have it at like 70% that 4 quarterbacks go top 4. I've been all over this.
I
Yeah,
think there's a
if
decent
if
chance.
Arizona traded out that pick and it's like Tennessee or like one of those other teams that need a quarterback, it's going to be 4 straight quarterbacks. All 4.
To
of
be
those
honest,
teams.
though, I think Arizona's best move would be to see what they can squeeze out of the. I mean, the Colts have 79. They have 35. If they could somehow squeeze 4 and 35 for 3 out of the Colts, then they should probably just do that.
I mean, yeah, that GM probably reeks of desperation. I mean, he's going to get canned if he doesn't pick a quarterback. Right?
Chris Ballard.
Yeah, Chris Ballard's going to get canned if he doesn't
Well,
pick-
I mean, incompetent Ballard has been the, subject of my ire for a long time. I don't know. I wouldn't trust him.
I
I
don't
think
think
we're
it's trusting him. It's more so trying to save his job.
Well, yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to do very good things to save his job. I mean, this is the one who brought you Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
How does he still have a
I think-
job?
I don't know. I really don't know. He must have some compromising pictures of Jim Irsay.
We're in a really interesting position where, Ryan, I think you're right that we could very easily see 4 quarterbacks taken right away. But due to no one knowing exactly who Carolina is going to take, except for probably Carolina, teams really
sure they
who's
even
going to actually
know?
be there at.
I don't think they know. The
But
odds are shifting
exactly
too
that.
much
You
for
don't
them to
know. You don't know who's going to be there at 2 or 3. You don't know if the guy that you really want to and that you're willing to trade up for to get at 3 is going to be there. It wasn't like when the 49ers traded up, they knew that their guy was going to be there, even though they probably
Their
switched up.
guy went in the teens, but yeah.
Yes. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they traded up in there knowing that who they wanted to be there was going to be there. They knew Zach Wilson was going at 2. They knew Trevor Lawrence was going at 1. And they knew they had their choice at 3. I don't think anyone knows who's going to actually be at 3.
I mean, where does
you have ideas, but
we have our ideas, but it's basically the question you ask. The answer to your question is, where does Anthony Richardson fit into the mix? Because he could be a wild card, and Houston could love him, even though everyone's been saying Bryce Young, including myself.
I think a team trading up to 3 would have to be happy with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, it's going to be a team that's very happy with Richardson, but likes the other 2 better and would like them even more if one of them came to them. So a team that falls into that category would be fine trading up to number 3. You have to like Anthony Richardson enough, but probably prefer the other 2.
And that begs the question of, will that trade happen before the draft day, or will it happen night of?
I think we're reaching night of territory, honestly.
Yeah, if it hasn't happened yet.
And if they're not leaking any leans yet for either of the top 2 teams, like I said, we haven't heard anything out of Houston. We've heard Carolina was all about CJ Stroud with Frank Reich comments, and then Bryce Young's odds dropped. So, like, we could assume it's not going to be Anthony Richardson. We could assume it's going to be CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, but beyond that, we have no idea.
I mean, I pitched the Cardinals and Titans making a trade a long time ago. Like, I said that the Titans should send Malik Willis with, their 11, and then I think what else? The 11 and the 24 first, and Malik Willis and the maybe a 3rd. I don't think it's going to cost more. It's not number 1.
I know, but if I'm going down that far, playing mock GM for the Cardinals, if I'm going down that far, I'm asking for Jeffrey Simmons. That I know it might not.
Oh, you can't. He just signed an extension.
I know, but like the team needs blue chip players, and he said he was done with Tennessee, didn't he? Like 2 or 3 days ago.
He was so done that he signed a $96 million extension.
I missed the extension.
Yeah.
What was that today?
It was like 2 days ago. It was like 96 million. It was a lot.
So he tweeted that he was done with Tennessee, and then I don't get it.
He had 96 million reasons not to be done. Don't forget also there's the DeAndre Hopkins part of all of this. Still a moving piece.
I mean, could New England make a mega deal for D-Hop and number 3?
Well, I thought about that. It doesn't. Nuke to Tennessee makes no sense. Or Atlanta. Makes no sense.
No,
but
that would be bad.
New England does make some sense. So could New England trade like 14, 46, 24 first, and get rid of Mac Jones too for 3 and DeAndre Hopkins? Something along those lines. Arizona kills 2 birds with 1 stone. They get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They get everything. They get rid of DeAndre Hopkins for a 2nd-round pick. Acquire a quarterback to play this year, and see what happens while Kyler is out. They get a first next year, and they still have the 14th overall pick this year. Sounds pretty good. Maybe they should look into that. Incompetent Arizona should look into that.
They're not going to look into that.
Well, I know they're not going to look into it because they charge lunch. They charge for lunch in the cafeteria.
That's facts.
They charge for lunch. Yep. For NFL players, they charge for lunch. They need billionaire Bidwell needs lunch. He needs to charge for lunch. So it's I don't think they will. This is a personal opinion. I doubt it. But who knows? What do I know?
They charge for lunch.
I do know that. I know that they charge for lunch, and I do know that. Is there anything else to say? I mean, I did put together a show sheet. We talked about liking and commenting on the video. I'll get to that Pollard question in a second. I do want to say the Ravens did talk about selecting a quarterback in the NFL draft. Could be interesting. Do you think they'd be in play for Hendon Hooker? talked a little bit about him earlier.
I think so, but we discounted the potential that one of these top teams. Never mind. They should move Lamar, but they won't. So it's whatever. It's a mute point because they should absolutely look into it over one of these rookie guys. Like Carolina, I think should have looked into it before the move up because their defense was really good, and they had DJ Moore. They had a couple pieces on offense. They could have added a running back on day 2, and voila, you got a nice competing team in a weak NFC South. But what do I know? I'm not an NFL GM, so.
Well, maybe you should be hired.
Maybe I should. Maybe I still
you
wouldn't.
should. You should apply for that.
I'll apply for 31 teams, everyone except the Cardinals.
Well, yeah, because then you'd have to buy your own lunch,
Oh.
so they'd have to take it out of your salary.
And if I wanted to hit their gym, I'd have to pay that too. I'm pretty sure. Like
Mhm.
how they
Not
had to
good.
have changed it, right?
No, it hasn't been changed.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Wow.
Oh, also, I want to note that Austin Eckler is very unhappy.
Don't blame him.
Oh yeah, he is.
Is there any? I mean, I think he's going to be forced to play for the Chargers.
He is, yeah, but I think he's
He's
going to be
very
set
upset.
up for that primary role again, and it's going to be. I mean, he's going to be set up for that primary role again, and this offense is going to be fantastic. It's going to be great for fantasy.
I don't think he necessarily wants to have as many touches and carries as he had last year.
No, I don't know if he does. Yeah,
I don't think he does. Because you realize he put his body on the line each time he took a hit, each time he ran between the tackles. And
Yeah.
that's not like he came in to win. He's performed well, and he's played one playoff game and watched his team blow a giant lead.
It's true.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Like, would you be happy with that?
No,
but I think he's more unhappy about the money.
Your team is rushing you in the
he wants an
second half
extension.
and you're like, this isn't my job. This isn't what I'm built for.
Yeah, this is what happened. He requested a trade, and he went down to seek a trade, and he wanted an extension, and no team gave it to him. And then he was upset, and he was like, okay, I think I'm going to have to play for the Chargers. Like, that was it. I think that's
Pretty much, yeah.
I think that's exactly what happened with Austin Eckler, and he's just kind of mad that no one wants to give him an extension. I mean, but why would a team give an extension? He's like I think he's 29 now. Is he 28 now?
Something like that.
He's right
He'll be
there at
28
that.
in the
He's right there at
season.
that age cliff. He's had a lot.
28. Yeah, 28.
He's 28. He's had a lot of miles on his legs. Like, this dude is like an older running back. Like, no one's gonna give you a multi-year extension worth like $10 million a year, which was rumored and reported. That's what he kind of wanted. Like, no one's going to give you that at all. No one's interested in giving you that. So yeah, he's gonna be forced to play for the Chargers, and I don't know if they're gonna force him to take that role. I don't know if he wants that. I don't know if they're gonna force him to have that, but I'm still gonna draft him for fantasy. He's like a top 6 to 8 running back. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
the
comfortable.
RB money just isn't there. And
No, it's not.
I
It's
remember
not.
when he signed that 3-year extension. I was like, 3 years, $18 million at that time. I was like, that is a great deal for both sides because he's getting locked in for that money. It's a good amount of money for someone who at that time was still just proving himself. Like, he had broken out, but could he handle the full workload and get in the end zone and handle the goal line work? We didn't know. And the Chargers said they bet on him, and they made a good investment. And now that the Chargers are benefiting more from that investment than Austin Eckler is getting, he's kind of upset about it. And that's it's frustrating there because, like, they paid you for what you are going to be for the next 3 years, and they made a great investment. You can't just be upset that the team's winning out on that versus you. Like,
I know, but he's the fantasy player guy, so like I feel for him a little bit. His tweets and his involvement in the fantasy community is awesome. So like,
and the anti-fantasy guy is getting franchise tagged in Josh Jacobs in his own division, and will be making more money.
do we think the Chargers could be a sleeper candidate for a day 2 running back since there's a multitude of them? Do you think?
Very much, yeah. They're
And
absolutely
they're a
up
sleeper
there.
candidate for a round 1 running back.
They could take Jahmyr Gibbs.
I wonder who that could
Bijan.
be.
They could absolutely do that. If they
I
really
think
wanted.
they could take Bijan if he's still there.
I think he's gone.
They
by
could
then.
do it. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, like, even
I
so,
agree
when
that
you,
he's
look
gone by then.
when you look at just Eckler, like, who do they have behind Eckler right now? Like, they have
Isaiah Spiller, Josh
Isaiah
Kelly.
Spiller.
Josh Kelly still there?
Like, no, they all suck. Like, they have
No,
nobody
they-
behind that player.
They do have a player named Joshua Fumble on their roster, but I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with Joshua Kelly. I've never heard of him.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's like they're like no, they just don't have anybody worth
Did
it right
people
now.
like that? Did people like that when I did that back in the day when I gave every player a nickname? I feel like I don't have the spark of the old days. I feel like I'm going through the motions. I miss it. Like we had Carson Failure, Drew Disaster. I even had my Drew Lock throwing motion. Was that before your guys' time? Like, was that like before you guys started? Like,
I mean, I started here on Twitter about 2-ish years ago.
I mean, like before you were familiar with my content, though, because I haven't done that in a long time. I was like, he's winding up.
I don't remember when
Winding
I
up.
introduced to you.
The interception is being thrown. That was my Drew Lock.
I don't remember when we got introduced to each other. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I think
when
you
you left?
got mad at me like 2+ years ago, the very first podcast I ever did, because I didn't. You're like, I don't know who Joshua Kelly is. I don't know Joshua Fumble, and you said that almost like exact same line you said to Ryan to me 2+ years ago.
But I feel like I used to have all these jokes.
That's
Like
like-
I feel like I've become like so serious now.
Why so serious, Tyler?
Why so
Why
serious?
so serious?
Why so serious? I am from New York, the real world version of Gotham.
It's true.
I thought it was
Wow.
Pittsburgh was Gotham.
I mean, I lived in New York for a while.
No, it
Or
felt
was
like
that
it
just the way it felt in the last recent movies.
No, because that's because Hines Ward was the player running on the field when Bane blew up the field.
Oh my god.
So
Oh, I love that scene.
That was insane.
it was quite the movie.
I loved that movie.
Yeah. The second one's still the best though. That trilogy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Instant
I miss-
classic, but
Yeah, I miss Heath Ledger.
yeah. Did we get to that Pollard question yet?
No,
I don't
we'll
think so.
get to it when I'm good and ready.
Okay, Tyler. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Oh man. Is Pollard a sell right now? If so, for what? I got feedback today that the best thing that I could ever have on a show, which I'm never going to do, is if I had someone read the questions and not give any analysis, and only I did analysis and didn't talk about anything else. That was the review I got on the show, is that someone else should read the questions and I should just talk about football. That would be boring. My response to that person was that I will never find anyone to do that job. Because who wants to come on a show and not talk about football?
Yeah, that'd be not fun.
No,
You find an
I-
AI for you. A voice.
Oh,
True.
ChatGPT. Oh, Patrick coming in with a great idea. Maybe I should just replace
Yeah.
everyone
I
with
work
AI.
I work myself out of a job often, so like.
No, I love you guys. Yeah, I love talking football.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
is Paul-
ChatGPT is only updated to what, 2018, 2019?
Oh yeah, it's a big problem.
So
Is
Yeah,
Pollard
it
a
is.
sell? Yes, of course he's a sell. I've been saying it for so long.
yeah,
I mean,
he really is.
you know,
He really is. Like the Cowboys, they're looking at their depth chart behind them. Like the Cowboys are just such a prime candidate to add a running back. Like Pollard is a smaller guy. He's not set up, and like as much as great of a season he had, Zeke was still very involved in this offense last year.
This
like very
mock-
involved. I don't think they're ready to give Pollard a full-time workhorse role. They're going to add somebody.
this mock has Dalton Kincaid at 26 and Zach Charbonnet at 58.
That would be an excellent haul for the Cowboys.
I like Charbonnet there.
That'd be excellent.
I really like Charbonnet there.
Charbonnet would fit well there because Charbonnet can do everything.
He would truly
But-
be like the Zeke Elliott of that team. I think he could slot. I mean, obviously,
It's great. It's great value, Zeke.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing also with
Yeah.
with Charbonnet that like
great value Zeke. Yeah, that's exactly.
he's 22, so he'd have time to grow into a role. He's not as young as Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan, but he wouldn't need to necessarily hit in year one to make it worth it. But even with Pollard, I mean, we saw with Pollard
Yeah,
and
and Pollard's
Zeke.
Pollard's only on a 1-year contract. Like he is not.
Well,
like,
taking Zach Charbonnet, I think, would probably alleviate the need to extend Tony Pollard.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like Pollard's on a 1-year contract. Like he is not like he's not locked in for a long time. Like a running back that goes there, if they work with Pollard for a year and then the next year Pollard's gone, like you have a workhorse back in an offense that is pretty good, like a pretty good offense. Like, especially if they add like a Dalton Kincaid in the draft and he works out, and if they have CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, like a running back in Dallas could be a really, really good spot.
Yeah, I could.
It would take a bit because Pollard's there, obviously, and Pollard's going to do a lot, but it could really work out long term.
It would really hurt the value of Tony Pollard because I think a lot of the value is that people are thinking he's going to be better than last year significantly, and I'm not sure that that's going to be the case.
No,
I'm not betting on someone having better efficiency than what Tony Pollard had last year.
Oh,
sorry,
so
I don't think someone's going to have higher than a 5.2 yards per carry. He's not going to average 9.5.
It's actually the third best mark. It's actually third best mark of his career.
What'd you just say?
But not on 193 attempts.
I know.
He's not going to do that on 193 attempts.
No, he's not.
He had a lot of breakaway plays.
He's also unlikely to score 9 rushing touchdowns on 193 attempts again.
Yeah, he had a lot of big runs last year too. He had
previously
plays.
In his career, he'd had 8 rushing touchdowns on 317 attempts. So he was overweight on rushing touchdowns significantly, which I don't see that repeating, especially with Zach Charbonnet, who's probably much better goal line back at this point in his career than Zeke Elliott was in his. And Zeke still got a lot of goal line work. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, one thing to note. I mean, okay, Breece Hall looks great. There's a lot of meetings going on. I mean, Kareem Hunt is probably finished. These are, a lot of things. The Cowboys were interested in Derrick Henry. Apparently, people say a lot of things.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I saw that.
They say a lot of things.
That's crazy.
I don't know about that. But I think the one thing in news this week that's actually important, and it's not obviously our favorite topic of conversation, but Joe Mixon was recharged with the aggravated menacing charges. So that's not going to be so good. That's not good because he was charged, then they dropped the charges without prejudice, which let them bring the charges again. If they found new evidence, they just dropped it for the time being. Now they're re-bringing the charges. So that is going to result, if you look at the Bengals talk about Joe Mixon, they don't anticipate that Joe Mixon is going to be a part of their situation.
Oh yeah, I did post a video a while ago on Twitter that had the GM for the Bengals talking about Joe Mixon and talking about T. Higgins. I had both those videos back to back, and it was very close in time to each other, and it was absolutely insane. Like the first video with Mixon, it was like, Joe's been a good part of our team, but I don't know the future.
Joe's been a good part of our team.
Joe's been a good part of our team.
Yeah.
That was exactly in quotes what he said. Joe's been a good part of our team, but I don't know the future. As he quoted somebody, he said, as this person says, I don't know. And the other video was T. Higgins, and it was like, my job is to make the Cincinnati Bengals a better team, and trade T. Higgins is not a part of that. So if you're going to, and there were other teams calling, if they're going to want a wide receiver, they're going to have to look somewhere else because we're keeping T. Higgins. Like, that's what he said about T. Higgins when asked about him, about a potential trade. Like, it was very, very clear that T. Higgins is wanted on this team, and especially with the extension rumors now. Like, T. Higgins is wanted on this team, and Joe Mixon is not. And, I mean, because Joe Mixon right now, they're gonna have to owe him $12 million in 2023 if they do keep him with a dead cap of, I think, $5 million. Is that correct?
Sure. Yeah, they would save a significant amount of money.
They would save a significant amount of money just cutting him. They wouldn't have to eat that $5 million, but they would save some money. And next year, he is barely any cap hit at all. He's going to be owed $13 million. Next year, he's 100% going to be cut if he's not cut this year somehow. But he's going to be cut. He's going to be moved to a different team, and he's in trouble. Joe Mixon is in huge trouble. I know the price is probably cheap, but I want him gone. I want him off my Dynasty squads. I want him gone. I just want him off. I will sell him for almost any second at this point.
Might be crazy, but in Dynasty, I have him at running back 30.
I think, let's see where I have him in my Dynasty rank. I got him. Let's see. Let's find him. I think he's in like running back 25 to 30 range for me. Yeah, he's at 26.
I just have no interest in him.
He's going to screw up someone that gets day 2 running back draft capital in August by signing with them once he gets cut.
He
I
could
mean,
be.
you have a really
Yeah,
valid
he's at
point
20.
there.
Yeah,
Like
Mix
he's
is
just
at 26.
they're
so
gonna be he's gonna be added during training camp somewhere. He's gonna come in and he's gonna take 40% of the work, and it's gonna fuck up someone like Zach Evans.
Yeah, he could.
I mean, if he survives the current situation, no major running backs are drafted, and we get to the beginning of the season without a suspension, then obviously his value will rise. But it's still never going to recover the value that it once had because there's like a sword hanging over his head.
Yeah, because he's only getting older. He's only depreciating in
He
value.
was not
and-
good last year. I mean, he had
he was
one good game
He was
and
bad.
16 bad ones.
I went
Wasn't
back
that,
and I went back and made sure because he his efficiency metrics were off. Like it was not good. I went back to make sure I watched him and see okay, what did he look like? Oh yeah, it was bad. It was not good. Like it just was not good at all. Like he just didn't look look explosive. He didn't look effective.
Up until his eruption, that 5 touchdown game, he was averaging 16 carries for 54 yards, 3.35 a clip.
Ugh, so gross, disgusting.
Yeah, it's
Trojan along.
And then after that, in the 5 games after that, 11.8 carries a game for 45 yards.
He made Samaje Perine look good.
Yeah,
being off the
he
field.
did. I mean,
he was
Perine got,
terrible outside of one game where he was great.
Yeah, Mixon missed a couple games. Samaje Perine, it was insane. Like on the first carry, Samaje Perine, the first game he started on the first carry, he threw somebody to the ground on the first run. Absolutely demolished somebody. I can't remember who it was against, but he just took a guy and threw him to the ground. It was an angry run. Yeah, it was absolutely insane. Perine made Mixon look
I think Perine's interesting right now.
He is interesting in Dynasty. I'm worried the Broncos are going to add a running back, though.
I think someone's got to be there. Javonte is not
healing
healing as well as he's supposed to be. He's behind where he's supposed to be. What does that mean? Do you trust Perine to be that starting running back with Sean Payton?
I don't think that. I know Javonte Williams is not going to be ready for Week 1. I don't think
going to be ready.
The Broncos are not going to trust so much of Perine with their backfield. I think they're going to add a day 3 pick. They have a couple day 3 pick. They have a couple. They have a couple round 3 picks, not day 3. Round 3 picks. They have a couple of those. I think one of them is going to be.
I think they have a lot of. I think they have a lot of needs on this team.
They do.
Running back isn't that. I could see them adding a Leonard Fournette.
Great.
What are they add like a Leonard Fournette?
Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, and Ezekiel Elliott have had zero interest in them, really at all.
Seriously,
zero.
None.
Zero. Of the 3, Ezekiel Elliott has actually been the one most talked about. Kareem
Zeke's
Hunt,
actually done visits.
Zero.
It's just
Zero
funny.
about Kareem Hunt.
Kareem's had to know it to interest from teams signing him, but we recently saw a report that the Browns are not extending Kareem Hunt. We just see that teams are not. We just saw the
Leonard Fournette. I haven't heard anything.
Nobody talking about him.
No discussion of any kind. So those guys have fallen in my dynasty ranks to a point of we're at the point where even if they NFL teams were more interested in Deonta Foreman, Rashad Penny, they were more interested in those players. Those players are going to be ahead of those older guys. Even
Leonard Fournette right now is RB41.
That's too high.
Who's RB41?
Leonard Fournette.
I have him at 47.
Yeah, and then Zeke's at 43. Kareem Hunt's at 44.
I have 45.
I definitely can move those guys down.
I think Kareem Hunt is done in the league.
I think I could definitely move those guys down. There's some guys here where I'm like, okay, I should definitely.
I think the only one of them that could be done is Leonard Fournette. I don't think.
I got called absolutely crazy on another show, and I was like, Brown. He looked slower. It wasn't a matter of not wanting it. He wasn't what he needed to be last year, and I don't see that changing. Going somewhere else and learning a whole new system again.
Yeah,
he's a full step slower than he was when he was with the Chiefs.
Of the 3, I feel like Ezekiel Elliott has the most left.
I would agree. And
I do not think Ezekiel Elliott's career is over. And more than just a coach player kind of signing or a bit part. I think Ezekiel Elliott will sign and actually, I don't know if it'll be relevant for fantasy, but I think he will have a role that matters on an NFL team next year. I think Kareem Hunt will sign somewhere. I don't know how relevant he'll be. Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I would agree there.
I would have liked to have seen Zeke go to like Baltimore and before they re-signed, was it Gus Edwards, and fill in like the Mark Ingram role. That the veteran go in there, protect your quarterback a little bit. You're there to do your thing, go between the tackles.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we've gotten to everything I wanted to get to today. So let's wrap up. Who has anyone have stuff to plug?
No, anything I haven't really plugged before. I mean, just follow me on Twitter at HutchinsonB_FF, and you can find pretty much everything I do from there.
Nice. And for me, follow me on Twitter. Obviously, follow Patrick and Ryan on Twitter as well. I have a bunch of articles coming out for DLF, so check those out at dynastyleaguefootball.com. I've really enjoyed writing. It's been honestly a lot of fun in the offseason. I kind of missed it. My Patreon, as always, I would suggest checking that out because that's a good way to kind of get my advice without, getting mixed up or anything, especially on Twitter. I get confused and wires crossed on Twitter in ways I won't get on Patreon. And then there's the Patreon link. And then on top of that, we will be back. Next week is the end of the Monday show. Last one. Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I have a couple of nice guests for that show. Last live Ask Tyler. And then we'll be back here Tuesday at 7:30 where we'll be discussing rookie wide receivers and tight ends next week. We'll be focusing on that. Hopefully I'll have more of a show sheet and we'll have a little bit more planned for that. And then we'll have our live NFL draft stream. And we'll be live for all of night 1 and night 2.
I'll be there.
Many hours. All of us will be there. It's going to be very exciting. I'm very excited for it. I had a great time the last 2 years doing that show, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I think that's everything. So, until next time, I will see you all later. Peace.